10-2, very impressive. Tim Welch says, I'm not impressed. He's never fought anyone like me. Let's see how Царёв does in the U.S.
Let's go back inside the Bellator cage to Michael Williams.
Tonight here, Caesars Atlantic City Bellator Fighting Championships now moves to the next quarterfinal. 3 5-minute rounds in the welterweight tournament presented by Everlast. Unleash your warrior and brought to you by 5-Hour Energy, hours and hours of energy. And now introducing first the red corner. At 6 foot even, he weighed in at 170.5 pounds. As a professional, 9 wins, 3 losses, fighting out of Portland, Oregon. He hails from Great Falls, Montana, introducing Tim Cheap Shot Welch.
Montana, baby. Woo!
And across the cage, his opponent fighting out of the blue corner at 5'11", weighing in at 171 pounds. Impressive as a professional, 23 victories, only 2 defeats tonight. He makes his U.S. debut. He hails from Novosibirsk, Russia, introducing Mihhail, the Lonely Wolf Caryow. And the referee in charge of this contest, Dan Mergliata.
Andrei Koreshkov is already through to the Season 7 welterweight tournament semifinal round. The winner of this second welterweight tournament quarterfinal will join Koreshkov in the final 4.
Ready?
Both fighters in the white trunks, Welch in the white trunks with the Shamrocks. Here we go with round number 1. Tonight's clock is brought to you by NBA 2K13, executive produced by Jay-Z, in stores October 2nd, rated E for everyone.
Tim Welch putting the pressure on early. I think he's not scared of the takedown. I think he doesn't worry about the submission skills of Царёв. Царёv going for that inside trip. Good pressure by the Russian.
Царёv gets quote of the week. He said, if he doesn't knock me out in the first round, I will submit him in the second round. And he said it irony and emotion-free.
Irony, Russians generally not real big on irony. Generally, they mean what they say. Oh.
Head kick by Царёv, didn't fully get through.
Tim Welch knows he has to keep those hands high. Oh, he hurt him. Staggered him for a second. I think he caught him off balance. Tim Welch got caught coming in. He's got to be careful. Got to keep those hands high when he's aggressive.
Jimmy, get ready for the greatest promo in the history of television. Here we go. The fighters of Bellator are well-trained and highly skilled professionals. The guys on numbnuts are not. Watch them try to stay out of the hospital on numbnuts. The series premiere is at 10 p.m. Eastern Time, only on MTV2 tonight, and it will air immediately following tonight's Bellator Fighting Championships.
Well, these guys do have technique, like that inside trip. Beautiful job by Царёv.
And
he
the
is
Emmy
on top. What can he do?
And the Emmy goes to Царёv wanted to get this to the ground, and that's where we are. Царёv in MMA in Russia, through his opening 25 fights of his career, has by and large been more dangerous with his submission game in the bottom position. But Царёv said, I don't try to work there. I just find myself there and then throw up subs. Now working from the top position.
I like his hip pressure here. Good position for a guillotine. He's going for it.
Going to the bottom position there with that guillotine attempt, and that is tight. There is a lot of torque there. Царёv looking to finish in his Bellator and U.S. debut. Tremendous torque.
Let's see if Welch can slip his head out. Can't tell how deep it is. Looks all right so far.
And Welch pops his head free. And that gets an ovation from the AC crowd.
Now watch the wrist control. That's where triangles come from, is posture control and wrist control. You see here, controlling. Oh!
Big up kick.
That is illegal. His opponent was downed.
Time called immediately by our referee, Dan Mergliata. Welch was a grounded opponent. Remember, even though we have under these Bellator tournament rules, no elbows to the head in any circumstance. Otherwise, we're under the unified rules of MMA used in the U.S. and Canada. You cannot kick or knee the head of a grounded opponent.
Hey, you see here, he's grounded and bang, up kicks him twice. I made a mistake in the last fight. Jordan Smith hit him with Koreshkov with an up kick that was perfectly legal. This is not legal.
All right.
Opponent was down on his knees. That's illegal. He had more than 2 points on the ground. You cannot kick an opponent to the head. He's having explained to him again.
No. Now you know. Tell me next time I take a point.
Mergliata saying, now you know.
Huh?
You know, they do have a rules meeting before the fight. He should have known before that.
And that's a fair point, Jimmy. It's the fighter's responsibility to understand the rules of the country he's fighting in.
I think he might have gotten a pass there. I think a fighter fluent in English, I think they would have deducted a point right away.
I agree with you. Again, 25th pro MMA fight for the Russian Mihai Tsarёv, his first outside of his native Russia. Dan Mergliata said, now you know. That's your free pass, in other words. Time in, big jump knee, and almost a step-in kick by Welch.
Seems like Welch is having trouble getting inside. Trying to figure out Tsarёv from the outside, gives up a takedown.
Welch trying to work back to his feet. Again, Welch wants dirty boxing. He wants to turn this into a brawl. In his words, turn this into a street fight. Tsarёv wants to be much more technical and wants to play on the ground.
The problem has been Tsarёv so far who's put more pressure on Welch. And look at that inside trip. Raising it all the way to the ceiling. Beautiful job. Another takedown for Tsarёv.
Right hand by Tsarёv.
Tsarёv now going for the guillotine again.
Hard for the guillotine. And again, Tsarёv going really to his favorite bottom position on this submission attempt. 1 minute remaining in round one.
Still holding on to the head. Might try and turn it into a sweep here. Very hard to get the guillotine if you don't have guard. Now back to full guard. Trying for it again.
Full close guard by Tsarёv versus Tim Welch on this guillotine attempt.
Wrong with the guillotine, you don't get it, man. It costs you a lot of energy.
And again, Welch pops his head free and then throws the left hand for good measure after the escape.
Tsarёv in triangle position now. You see that left arm of Welch is in the middle. That makes the triangle hard to get.
You see Tsarёv trying to pull down the head of Welch, trying to pull his opponent literally into his triangle.
Might transition to an armbar from here.
Short left hand by Tsarёv. Up hammer fist by Tsarёv. Welch trying to clear the legs. Final seconds of round number one. Welterweight tournament quarterfinal number 2. Tsarёv knows he has to be cautious with the up kicks here. Round 2 coming up. There is Bugsy Welch, the father of Tim Welch, working his son's corner. How cool to have a dad named Bugsy.
I know, that's automatic badass street cred if you're named Bugsy.
Jimmy, how did you score round 1?
10-9 Tsarёv. Welch was on the defensive throughout much of that fight. Nice swift kick by Tsarёv. No, that was a legal kick. Oh, what is he apologizing about?
Big swing and a miss with the left hook by Welch.
I agree with his corner in between rounds. He said you got to throw combinations. Enough of this throwing one big shot stuff. Got to throw 2, 3, 4.
2 knees, then the right hand by Welch as Tsarёv pulls out. Welch tells him to stand. Does not want to play on the ground with his Russian opponent.
I agree with that.
Kick by Tsarёv. Welch comes forward. There's the shot to sprawl.
Tsarev's looking tired.
And again, you see Tsarёv going right to his back.
Now, his corner told him either get up and make him stand up or start landing bombs. Don't just sit there.
But Jimmy, right there, very subtly, is something we don't see a lot in MMA in 2012. Tsarёv just going right to his back. That's stuff we used to see in the 90s in the sport when guys were still wearing a gi into the ringer cage.
Because it's generally a bad idea. A guy on top of you can, beat you to death from top position while you're going for submissions. You don't see it that often in modern MMA. Had his hand up.
It's the confidence and technique from the bottom position by Mihai Tsarёv.
It's pretty rare that you see guys jump guard these days. Good takedown by Tsarёv. Good guard pass. Right into side control. Tim Welch winning that inside battle with his right arm. But he's in Darce choke position. Can Tsarёv get it?
Nice right hand by Tsarёv.
Oh, he's got his neck. He's got his neck. This might be it, Sean.
That's a deep rear naked choke in the tap. Second round submission win for Mihai Tsarёv in his Bellator and U.S. debut.
Make that submission number 19, victory number 24 for the young Russian. I'm impressed with this guy's ground skills.
1 minute,
very impressed.
57 seconds of round number 2, that time of the rear naked choke finish for that man, the elated Mihai Tsarёv.
Man, let's see if we get another look at that. Good level change. Going to the single leg, dumps him and steps right into side control here. Doesn't waste time in the guard from here. From this crucifix position, steps back. Got under the neck before he even got his hooks in. That is deep. Tim Welch has no way out. And that's a beautiful Mata Leon.
And a slick transition to the rear naked choke, Jimmy.
Yeah, beautiful job by Mihai Tsarёv. That kid is legit.
It's welterweight tournament quarterfinal round night here at the Bellator Season 7 opener at Caesars in Atlantic City, New Jersey. 2 fighters through to the semifinals, both Russians, Andrei Koreshkov and Mihai Tsarёv. When we return, Jimmy Smith will speak to the newest semifinalist, Mihai Tsarёv. Taken 2, starring the great Liam Neeson as a man with a very particular set of skills. He will find you in theaters October 5th. Round number 1, our second welterweight tournament quarterfinal. Tim Welch versus Mihai Tsarёv. Welch wanted to keep this standing, turn it into a brawl, use his dirty boxing, and Tsarёv wanted that to take this fight to the ground and work for the submission. Tsarёv called it. He said, if Welch doesn't knock me out in round 1, I will submit him in round number 2. And that's what happened via that extremely deep and tight rear naked choke. Elation for Mihai Tsarёv. Here's Michael Williams.
Ladies and gentlemen, the tap comes by way of a rear naked choke. Official time, 1 minute, 57 seconds into round number 2. The winner by submission, earning his place in the semifinal round of the welterweight tournament, Mihai, the Lonely Wolf Tsarёv.
Here's Jimmy.
I'm here with your winner, Mihai Tsarёv. Mihai, of course, your entire career spent fighting in Russia. How does it feel to get that first win under the big lights in the United States?
Ты всю свою карьеру провел, выступая в России. Как тебе первый раз выступать в США на крупном турнире?
Очень тяжело. Тяжело функционально. Наверное, повлияла небольшая акклиматизация. И еще плюс гонка веса. Немного не восстановился еще. Что публика болела против меня, это я привык. Спасибо им и за это тоже. А вообще, огромная благодарность организаторам турнира, моему менеджеру Алексею Жернакову, моей команде Rusfighters. И спасибо всем болельщикам, кто за меня болел, и семье моей привет. Я люблю вас.
Good luck, man.
Well, thank you very much for everybody. It was obviously very hard for me and tough because it was first time that I fought on such a big stage, acclimatization, and many people in the public were rooting against me. But thanks them for that anyway, and thank you for my opponent, and thanks for all my fans, and thank you.
Well, we'll see the 2 Russians 2-0 tonight. We'll see them in the semifinals. Give it up for Tsarёv, Mihai.
The finish coming at 1:57 of round number 2. The submission was outstanding. The transition to submission, watch it right there, is absolutely phenomenal. No choice but to tap for Tim Welch. With that victory, Mihai Tsarёv joins his Russian countryman Andrei Koreshkov in the final 4.